having someone who's got the courage to tell his superiors what they don't want to hear but what they need to hear, I think is a timeless theme, and it's something that's even more important right now.
It's real.
I want to thank you for helping me sound so smart in gatherings of people.
Hey.
Because all I've been doing is saying, did you know that the D-Day invasion really had a lot going on that we did not know up to this point?
Certainly did.
I am so fascinated by how much effort and brilliance that it takes to pull off large-scale operations. What do you think, being the person that adapted this from a play, what was the number one most shocking thing?
I think it's trying to put your mind back to a time when there were no computers, no mobile phones, no communications, and try and imagine how hard it would be to organise a chain of 1 million men and women to launch from Studio City to here. And he's like, I haven't got the phone and all this stuff. It's not a long distance. Imagine trying to coordinate, this epic thing. And I think there's, with these characters, there's a real heroism, not just on the battlefield, but on the shoulders of the men and women who were forced to make these decisions, who cared for these men, who felt their lives, rested on their word. And the pressure that would put on someone is something that we really tried to, get our teeth stuck into with the film.
As you're talking about it, it also kind of needing to stand firm in what you have been tasked with doing reminds me of being a director as well.
In a way, yeah.
Because there are times when sometimes you have to say, we need to go again. This needs to be different.
Yeah.
Did you run into any moments like that where you were like, I am Andrew Scott?
Look, I think that any leadership position, whether it's director, or whether it's whatever it is, military leader, CEO, you're tasked with a responsibility to get this thing across the line. For most of us, failure doesn't involve hundreds of thousands or millions of dead people.
Sure.
And results or the consequences of these decisions would go on not for months or weeks, but for decades and maybe the rest of history.
Sure, I mean, truly turn the tide of things, so to speak.
A lot of people say, the Soviets were already, beating the Germans. Yeah, but the West was at war with the Soviets very soon after that, and Europe and the world would look like a very different place if the Soviet Union included Germany and England and Portugal and all these other countries. And, so the West were fighting an existential threat at the time in getting on the continent for D-Day. And, in Andrew Scott's case in particular, or in Stagg's case in particular, having someone who's got the courage to tell his superiors what they don't want to hear but what they need to hear, I think is a timeless theme, and it's something that's even more important right now. And
quite inspiring. And the nuts and bolts of shooting something like this that is very dependent on weather. And without spoiling anything, I do want to say that there's a moment where we do see precipitation, but how did that come to be on set? And was that something that you worked on with lighting? Did you CG some things? Or were you truly waiting for rain?
That's a fascinating question. It's there's very little CGI in any of that stuff. It was the bane of my existence, being what the weather was going to be in the lead up to the film, because the film rests on the weather being a particular way for the story to make sense, and England's weather is schizophrenic at the best of times.
Well, it's just what they say in the movie.
We lived that, and all I can say is that we were the luckiest film crew on earth, because time and time again, we got the weather we needed. For the months leading up to the movie, I was looking at visual effects, at sky replacements, at environmental group. And on the Wednesday, they came in, they said, it's going to be a washout. There's a massive storm going to come. It's going to hit on the Monday, and you're going to be finished. They're going to be 50 knot winds, there's going to be 6-foot waves. You're not even going to be able to step on the beach, let alone do it. And as we got closer, another team came and said there might be a window, and we weren't sure if this would happen. And there was a washout on the Monday. All our production design gear got sort of thrown aside. On the Tuesday morning, they came back and set up. The window came, and on the Tuesday, we got to start filming our D-Day sequence.
Which is like the exact thing that happens in the film.
And it lasted the 4 days after that. And then one of the scenes that we shot on the beach, we needed some clouds. The bloody clouds came, and it was phenomenal.
I mean, and the audience is all the better for it, because I mean, it's shocking to me how gripping this is. And
there's a reality to it, because the weather that you see is real. Sure, we had some wind machines and some rain and that, but by and large, it happened as we filmed it. And we even included a lot of real life archival footage, which we got from the real life sources, pristine 35mm footage that we neg scanned to high resolution, colorized it, and implemented that with the stuff that we shot to try and offer, a more visceral, more immediate, more authentic look at, the lead up to the war as well as the battle itself.
Oh, God. I could talk about this all day. Like, how am I this much of a science nerd? Thank you so much.
I converted you.
Cast.